morning, UTRGV. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Andy. With me today, I have a very special guest, Miss Ingrid. She is the owner and creator of the Healing Factory. We want to welcome her today. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you so much for having me this morning.
Of course, of course. So she's here today to share her experience, knowledge, tips, and just any type of information that can help us, business people or not, just casual people going through daily lives. So first of all, I'm pretty sure everybody has this question: how did this whole thing? Because everybody sees it now, right? Everybody sees a Healing Factory. They see the finished product, shiny, fancy stuff. But how did it get started? Take us back to day zero. How did all this come about?
Okay, so day zero is me moving back from college from Monterrey when I was studying dentistry, which before that I did architecture, interior design, dentistry. I've never been a person that, since the beginning, I had no idea what I wanted, to be honest with you. And the moment that I decided, okay, this is what I want to do, that's when everything just started kind of like shaping out for me. So tip number one, always know what you want. Like once you know what you want, everything is just gonna start folding out for you. And then, so I moved back and I'm here and I'm like, oh, do I need to go back to marketing? Like, do I need to do business?
You're still not
I'm still not sure of what I wanted to do. So then I started meditating. I started eating healthier, which I think kind of started shaping and changing my perspective towards food, towards health, towards diets, etc. And this is where like veganism comes in, and juicing and detoxing and all of that. Because I started brainwashing myself through movies or documentaries.
Okay.
So then that's when I started like, okay, I really like this. I'm into yoga. I'm into spiritualism.
Was there anything specific like that you remember, that you recall, that was just like that hit like something in your brain that was like, man, like I'm gonna start this whole health thing?
Yes, it was definitely the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead on Netflix. That's what like definitely triggered me to, okay, juicing is it's a really great thing that a lot of people don't know about, and definitely here in the Valley, a lot of people weren't practicing it. So I'm from Mexico, so back there you go to the mercados and you see like fruit cups everywhere, juicing everywhere. It's licuados, yeah, left and right. And my mom was like, hey, like we need something like that here. So my mom was the type that would always have those like juice recipe magazines all over the place. So we knew a juice for everything and anything, like for diabetes, for high
so this was
cholesterol.
already in your family?
This was, because
without even knowing it.
Without even knowing it was something that I kind of like grew up with because of my mom. She's always been like jugo de toronja with pineapple and celery, like to burn fat, and you know. So we always grew up kind of. And not when we were younger, because just like typical children, we didn't really like fruits and vegetables, healthy stuff. But it evolved from there. So she's like, hey, like we don't have anything like that here in the Valley. And I'm like, yeah, and like I wasn't really doing anything at the moment when I moved back from Monterrey. And the reason I moved back was because there was a lot of violence happening at the time. So my dad was like you can't stay over there anymore. You need to come back over here. So that's when I was like, okay, what do? I watched the movie, and then I'm like, okay, juicing is the thing.
was the transition like, were you kind of freaked out when you were like, no, like? Or you're like, yes, like let's go? No,
it's definitely something that felt very right for me. And I started brainwashing myself with like animal cruelty videos pretty much. And just like the typical you just turned vegan person, that you're like the activist and you want to throw like, no, don't do this because it's, we're animals and this. And I would upload videos, and then I was like, man, this is not really like, it's not having the positive outlook that I wanted from people. Instead, people were rejecting me because they're like, oh, like don't post those videos anymore. And I like, no, don't go there. But I needed to show everybody the cruelty and the ugliness behind animal farming and factory farming and all of that. So that's how it just started, I guess, changing my perspective towards becoming more empath and becoming more conscious of what I'm putting in my body, and how your body is your temple, and the cleaner you have it, and the more filled with life things, because your body's alive, so why are you feeding it dead things? You know what I mean? So that's when I watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, which is a story about this guy that comes to the US, and he realizes there's a lot of like obesity and a lot of illness and disease around here, and how we're a culture of like fast food and lots of carbs and lots of sweets and things that aren't really good for us. So it was definitely like a huge change of lifestyle for me.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started doing it, I lost 32 pounds. My acne was gone. Like my blood pressure was, I mean, it was like I was a complete different person. And this happened within the time of maybe like a month and a half to 2 months, where it was like a huge drastic change.
Mm-hmm.
So since I wasn't doing anything, I read the book Girl Boss by Sofia Moruso, who is used to be the CEO of Nasty Girl, which was a vintage clothing line that she created out of like nothing. And she inspired me so much because she's like, I had like no money, I had like no idea where I was going, but I knew what I wanted, and the universe just kind of like started making it happen for me. And I feel that she inspired me so much that I started doing it. I mean, and her tip is, if you have no idea what you're doing with your life, create a business out of what people come to you the most. So since I was doing the whole transitioning from regular, omnivore diet to plant-based, and I was juicing a lot, and people were seeing results as like very positive ones, everybody was coming to me like, what are you doing? Like, and whatever you're doing, like, you need to stop doing it because you're looking so good, like, what's going on?
Which was like my next point. So like, when was it that it was like, okay, you come from Mexico, you're in the United States, it becomes a lifestyle naturally because you just want to become healthy. When did you say like, okay, which is I think what you're getting into is like, okay, I need to do something, you know what I mean? And how long was that time frame? Was it months, or did that take a long time, or you were just like,
when I moved back, I'm like super depressed. I'm like out of it because I have no idea what I'm doing with my life, and I'm like already 25 years old, And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, dentistry didn't work, architecture didn't work, interior design didn't work. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna do a yoga certification, which I actually did it here at UTRGV. It was like a weekend thing, and I started teaching yoga. So I started juicing, the yoga, and it was just kind of like the holistic atmosphere that I was going towards. It felt very normal for me. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and whatever I was doing was not helping me at all. Anyway, so that passes by, and I read the book, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything. Like, what do I do? And where do I get the money from? Like, where am I gonna get all the funds? But once I knew what I wanted, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start juicing. So all of a sudden my aunt is like, hey, I want to save some money. Would you mind opening an account for me in the US? And, the money that she deposited was exactly the money that I needed for the machine in order for me to like move forward.
Everything just aligned.
So yes, everything so that's like the number one thing and I would always say about this tip is just know what you want. Because the moment you know what you want, everything will begin to align for you.
And I feel like the moment you know what you want, things that are happening around you start to make sense.
Right.
Because if you're not aware of what you want to do or who you want to be, everything else seems like, instead of, because blessings don't always come in as shining blessings. Sometimes they come in as failures and stuff like that.
Yes.
So if you're not aware of what you want to do, they might just...
Yeah, you might take something negative as very negative instead of seeing it as an opportunity to grow out of that experience.
So she's depositing the money, you're here, and you're like, let's...
So I'm like, man, this is just meant to happen because it was exactly the money that I needed, right? So then I started making juices for my house and like pressing them or, going all out from my house. And then I started delivering those juices out to my clients. So from there, one of my friends comes by and he's like, hey, I have this space. It's really like big. You could do the yoga. It's got the mirrors. You could, do a little juice bar in the back. I'm like, oh, this sounds really good, but I have like no money. Like, how am I gonna make this happen?
Yes.
So he's like, no, like we'll accommodate to you. We'll help you out, the first few months. So you can build up, etc. So that was my number one failure. It was, it was so bad because I was paying so much money for rent for a really, really big space, which I wasn't really using it. Because I was just teaching yoga maybe like once or twice out of the day. So the whole entire day it was just there.
So paint the picture for everybody listening. So you open.
I open and there's nobody there. Yeah.
You're excited, you open and you're like, okay.
Where's everyone? Where are all the people that were like, hey, you need to open something, we'll go. Like, so where is everybody?
What happens after this? What happens?
So that was a whole year and a half of like complete failure where I was literally working for my business just to like keep it going. Because rent was super high. It was just me doing like meditation, the yoga, the juicing, the raking, the back, and like all the holistic therapies, whatever you can imagine, just so I could like, okay, I need to move forward and then to keep like doing something.
Keep the lights on, basically.
Yeah, and actually that year, whenever I said like the universe has your back, like it really does have your back, because for an entire year, I did not get charged for electricity because the electrical companies made kind of like a mistake where they were switching zones, so they didn't catch me then or something. So I mean, the first light bill that I received was probably like $500, and imagine paying like your rent plus utilities plus bills plus. I mean, it was insane. I was super broke. Like I was like, done. Like
I mean, where do you go from there? I mean, how do you even like?
So from there, I'm randomly walking at this plaza, which is the one that I'm currently at, and I see that the space is for rent, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to CC's Cupcakes, because they were doing vegan cupcakes. So it was a really nice day, and I'm just walking there. I'm like, man, this is the spot. Like this just feels right. Like all these awesome women entrepreneurs are in this plaza. Like Movements is huge. Shop 112, CC's, and everything. It's like this is where I'm meant to be. So I save a little bit more. I bought a bunch of crystals from like Wish app for like a very affordable price, and then I flipped them because it was like, let's say, the crystal of the year. So I created like a market on that, and I made a lot of money doing it, which was the money that I used to save up and then give the down payment for like, this is my spot. After that, getting the down payment was one thing, right, for the first month, which was in November 2017, and I did not open until April of 2018. So it was a really rough time. Yeah, because I did not have money to do it. So any money that I could get, that I could hustle, I would like put it in there. And
this was still in your brain. Like, I'm gonna do this.
I have to do it because there's no way. I mean, I have no plan B. Okay. Like at the point I have no plan Bs. So it was just something that I had to do it and I had to pull through. So the very first months were very hard, like the beginning, but once I got the flow of it and the hang of it, everything just started running out smoothly. And if you're starting a business and it's just like financially yourself, you have to be aware of, I need to spend the least and create the most out of it.
Efficiency.
So efficiency. So my first, like my cooler, I didn't have like a cooler in the beginning, so I had like a literally cooler with ice in there.
And I think like some people might get that mixed up and want all the nice and fancy, because they might go to your shop right now and be like, this is what it takes to open up a shop. And
no, not at all. No, you really don't require a lot of money. Like you require, you of course have to have some savings, but more than anything, you really have to want what you want a lot. Like you really have to want it. Because you're gonna hustle for it. Like, in the beginning we would work from like 8 in the morning all the way to 8 p.m. and our schedules were super crazy. Like we would have to close from 3 to 5 because it was just like me and and very little people around me. So
I think the crystals is just like mind blowing, because it's like you're sitting there and it's like,
I couldn't believe it. Like
everything just like collapsed.
Yeah.
And then for you to just to be like, okay, now how can I fix this?
Instead
of just like, no, you could have very easily been like, no, you know what, I tried it, another failed venture.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I was very sad, I was super depressed, but it's either you stay in that, in that state of mind where you're the victim, where everything is happening to me, like, where's God in this? Like, and you start doubting yourself, and that's when you go to failure, because the moment you start doubting yourself, that's like you're doubting everything around you, you're doubting the universe.
Was there ever a moment where you've maybe felt like this wasn't gonna work out, or were you just?
No, definitely, but I wanted to prove my parents wrong so bad. Like,
was it the dentist?
My parents were like my biggest haters, cause like.
No, and that's something that we deal with here a lot.
Your parents could be like your biggest critics, but they were the most. I was so excited when I proved them wrong. Like, no, like. I know veganism is here to stay. Maybe not veganism because the title carries like a lot of like vegans, Plant-based is here to stay. Like to me, that's like the future diet. And then my dad would be like, maybe you should find like another plan B option just in case this doesn't work. And I'm like, no, like this is gonna work.
It might be tough. It might have been tough for them to see it because of our culture. And
definitely.
Our lifestyle.
Yes.
So healthy, really.
Yes. And it's a mixture of cultures too, like Mexican gorditas, tacos, tamales, and then the valley is like fries and all the fried stuff everywhere. So it's very heavy for us, and we are very top there in the obesity rate, like nationwide. So, and diabetes rate, the children, it's really crazy. So it is something that I've been working on, I guess, recommending this lifestyle because it's definitely something that works. I mean, I've tried it myself, and the people around me that have tried it have really succeeded in it and really like it and begin to adopt the lifestyle. So that's my goal with the Healing Factory. It all started with juicing, and I try to incorporate like raw fruits and vegetables, but the Raleig's really not ready for that yet. So I had to bring in sandwiches, tacos, but a healthier version of everything. Ease them into, and hopefully by giving them something that's very similar to what they're used to, hoping they would change their lifestyle into it.
How much would you say is just the lack of like knowledge and stuff? Because I feel like if people really understood what was in the food and stuff, I feel like they would understand. But how much of it do you think is just like the lack of just not knowing what we're eating?
There's a lot, definitely. When it comes to like food coloring, when it comes to fried food, when it comes to lactose, when it comes to meat, dairy, and all of that, it's a very huge industry that we've pretty much since you were born, you're like got milk, campaign, and you wanted to drink milk, and it's normal that you grew up with. And then when I moved here in the 4th grade, I mean, I gained so much weight, like it was crazy because I was eating enchiladas with my little carton of milk, with some beans, with like it's like a bomb to your stomach, and we don't realize that until you're like, man, like I was fed all this my entire life, and like now I have like high cholesterol, now I have like diabetes, now I have this, now I have that, and it's unfortunate, but it's a system, and it's a very well developed system created for, unfortunately, us to like not be well,
So I know just by speaking with you these few minutes, I know that this is not the end. This is basically not the end of the road for the Healing Factory. What is the future? What is you got here? What is your ultimate goal with the Healing Factory? How do you help? How do you see yourself helping the valley?
Well, definitely we want to expand. That's our first location. But yeah, in my goals, it's gonna be everywhere. Yeah, definitely Texas based.
How much would you say is like, I know earlier we were talking about the universe and people helping you and stuff. How much would you say is, what I'm trying to say is like, you gotta help yourself in order for people to see that and help you.
Right.
You have to be out there. Yeah. Like, I don't want people listening to think like, oh, she just got lucky, things aligned to her.
No.
You were out there.
Yeah, no, you were.
Yeah.
So, the people that know me know how like tough it's been, and even the people that don't know me know how tough it's been because one, I'm always there at my shop. Like you're gonna always see me there making burgers, washing the floors, like washing dishes, anything that I have to do to move forward, I'm gonna do it. And that's like, you need to want it enough to like want it and be there and do all the steps required in order for you to get wherever you want to get. Yeah.
The lawn lady,
you have to be everything.
Janitor,
yes,
everything.
The marketing, like PR, like everything. You gotta go to events. You gotta network. You gotta tell people. And I have been not really like blogging, but I have been spreading the plant-based message for a really long time now. Like maybe for like 5 years or so since I transitioned. I've been like, hey, I'm transitioning. This is the protein, this is the iron you need, this is the calcium. So back in the day I would post a lot. Now people that know me, and I'm very involved with the brand. Yeah, I've already built a brand because I'm very involved with the community as well. Like I go to women organizations, I like to be involved. I like people to know who I am and the message that I'm trying to put out there.
Which is, so let's say somebody, starting a business and stuff. Please tell them how it would be like the biggest mistake to just open up your door and just wait for them to come.
You need to go out there and spread your message. Network.
How is it? How do other entrepreneurs receive you, and how does your neighbors there receive you, and how?
Everybody's very nice. Well, in Courtyard Plaza, like I said, most of the most of the business owners are women entrepreneurs. So everybody knows what you're going through because they've already been through it too. So there's nothing but like love and support, to be honest. Like and everywhere else, like all the women organizations that I've been part of, Fem City, for example, is one of them. It's already a global organization, which is really awesome, and it's older women from like nurses to doctors to lawyers to just women trying to grow their business and to put their name out there. So if you think like, oh well, nobody knows me, like go out there. People are willing to help you. Just the moment you put yourself out there, like I said, you will attract the circumstances, the people, the money, and everything you need in order to move forward into your goals and dreams.
No, I mean, you gotta, engage with,
You
with
have
the
to engage.
community,
Yeah.
with the entire
Social
community.
media and put your message out there. Like you are an expert in what you're doing. For example, me, juicing and fasting is like, oh, I love that subject because it's something that I'm doing and I feel amazing and I just want everybody. Yes.
People can sense.
Yeah.
People can sense the how should I word this, the genuine love for it, because people could see BS. Like, they could see, like, no,
definitely.
Is there any?
You gotta walk your talk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't be like spreading a healthy lifestyle while like I'm out there drinking and eating like fat stuff and like like you gotta walk your talk.
And that goes for any
and that's valid. I mean, and you could do it too,
mm-hmm.
but you can't be doing like all the time because that's not spreading your message. You have to like walk your talk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, like, is there any particular moment where you felt like, I know we dived into it a little bit, but I just want the people to know, because you've done really well. Was there any particular moment where you felt completely like, this is not it? This is not it.
Yeah.
Recently, maybe. Because even at success,
you get burned out.
So we talked about the early stages. Like now it's 2019. We're getting to go into 2020. Mm-hmm. People might look at this and be like, "Oh, she's good. She's got it all figured out. Everything's straight." And there's still
Yeah. Once you're familiar with your business, you gotta be 100% secure that you have a really great accountant. Okay. So accounting, you need to keep track with like your taxes. With the IRS, like it's just so many more responsibilities that you're like, I thought this was easy. Like
did you learn the hard way or something with that?
I did, yes. My first year of taxes it was my first year doing it, and the IRS like got to me. Yeah, like, hey, you owe us a little bit more. It's like you have to pay, and you have to. I learned my lesson that first year, and I was like, hell no, will I like move numbers or anything like that, because you want to be the most honest you want when it comes to business overall. Just because you want to be good, you don't want them to block your accounts. You don't want anybody to come in and close your shop because of like dumb little things. So if it's something that I could recommend, is always have like your numbers good and always do your taxes right and your permits and be good with the city and like do everything you need to do to be good legally and good, because in the end it will catch up to you.
Yes,
it will.
Yes, like the Uncle Sam and
Uncle Sam will always catch up to you. 2 years later, 3 years later, but they'll come for you.
So as soon as so you're in this, you got a team. I would assume you have a team around you.
Yes, now I have a team. I started. It was just me, and then it started developing from that. Like from the old healing to this one, it's like so many positive changes. Like. But because of hard work and dedication.
Would you say that it was it easier? Because I'm in a similar position where it's like, and I see it all. I'm around entrepreneurs trying to start things all the time. And did you find it difficult to get people to join and like, hey, join? They're like, you're crazy. What is this lady trying to start a juice thing? Like,
no, yeah, definitely.
Are you crazy? This is gonna be the biggest thing ever.
Yeah. Like this is the future, guys. Like, believe me. Yeah. Definitely in the beginning, the only person that really needs to believe in yourself is you. It doesn't matter if nobody believes in you, because as you walk your talk, like I say, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you're waking up, and I love that number. And you're waking up, and you're doing, your work, and you're focused, and you know what you want, and you're working hard for it. People are just gonna start coming because they're gonna see that in you. Like you say, you attract that naturally because they see you like, man, this guy's really like working hard to get what he wants. Like, we're gonna help him out, and people generally want to help you, and people generally want to like support you.
Once they see you,
and you're probably gonna receive the most support from like the most strangest people ever. Like. Probably the people that are gonna least support you are gonna be your close friends and family, just because they and it's not a bad thing, because I've come to like, okay, like why is that? I kind of like want to think, like I go deeply on that, like why is that you get the most support from like random people? It's just that they know you from the beginning, and sometimes they don't think you're serious, which is okay, because you're still gonna receive so much more support from a lot of people that you don't even know, and they just want to help.
I think a little bit of that, and I've had the same thing where it's like sometimes I come up with these crazy ideas and stuff, and I honestly feel like my mom and my dad, they wanted me succeed. They want me to succeed and do good. I just think it's like they're so built into like get a job,
Yeah,
get a
in
career,
the old school
get
system.
insurance,
Yeah.
and
Pay your taxes.
pay your taxes, and
You're
mijo,
good.
like stay out of
Have
trouble
some
and
kids.
stuff, and that's good. And
Yeah.
I feel like for them it's like, no, mom, I'm gonna be a trailblazer. And I'm gonna do this. I feel like we're transitioning to this entrepreneurial
era.
Yes, where they don't know anything
They
about
don't get it.
You know, they
Yeah.
don't get it. And
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay
Yeah.
that they don't understand.
My dad's like, I was a manager when I was 20 years old with a house and like, oh man, I was like barely figuring out like what I wanted to do and be, and like people, some of us mature at a younger age, some of us don't. Like men don't mature until they're 40.
Yes, I heard.
I'm waiting on that.
I heard about that. Yes.
So it's it's just life, and like a lot of bad things are gonna happen to you, and a lot of really good things are gonna come out of that.
Let's talk a little bit about patience in business. And so go all the way back to Mexico, and you started juicing at your house to today. It wasn't overnight. It was just so much things that went into this this whole entire journey.
Right. I started when I was 25 years old. Like my holistic journey, like meditating, doing yoga, juicing, plant eating, like everything really healthy. And I'm turning 31 in January. So it's been almost 6 years of this like big journey, and it hasn't always been happy. Like honestly, it's not even like that great right now. Like where I'm like, live my best. No, because it's always gonna be something. Especially, like be prepared as an entrepreneur and a business owner that something's always gonna happen. Like either the aircon's gonna be wrong, your ice machine is gonna break, like an employee won't show up that day and you need them. Like just be ready for like the unexpected, because it's always gonna happen. And the way you take it, that's what's gonna either make you or break you.
We got to take a moment and say like, I'm sure you did this. You kind of sat back, reflected before you like dove all the way into this. Made sure that this was something that you like, something. It's easy for people not to hop on trends. It's easy to somebody out there. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna start making meal preps. I'm just gonna start. You could get.
Yeah.
You end up the wrong road just because you're hopping on trends.
You're
and
just
not
hopping on trends.
Reflecting. Let's talk about that. About reflecting. About mental and about getting your energy right and how important that is, because that's also new.
Yes.
This is
this is all all
this is
not.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, even like
you wouldn't hear from this.
None of this even existed. You might talk to somebody like our parents about energy, and they'd be like,
"Get
the heck out of here!
Go clean your room, bro."
Come on, like work all day, work all night, and save your money and buy a house, have kids. So how important it is for you to make sure that you're putting in the groundwork, shaking hands, kissing babies, but also take care of your mind, take care of your inside, and that's what.
If you're not healthy, like mentally wise, let's say just mentally, you're not gonna be where you need to be just because you're not focused and you're not grounded and you're not like stable. Okay. So once you're grounded, and I'm like, hey, I'm waking up.
What does that mean?
Being grounded means being present. Okay. If you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're living in the future, you're anxious. But when you're in the present, you're at peace, because I'm here and there's nothing going on around me. I'm not thinking of what I'm going to be doing after this. I have to go run to HEB and get some groceries because I need, no, I'm here. I'm not anxious. I'm not shaking, and I'm not sad or depressed because I'm not thinking of what would have I done what if I would have changed, into veganism when I was 20 instead of just dumb things that we think about that are or what if I would have stayed in that relationship, or what if he wouldn't have, just dumb stuff that we think that it's done and over with and it's your past and the past doesn't exist. Once you realize that you're living in the now, you're living in the present, I'm breathing and I'm open and ready to receive. That's how simple it is, because the universe doesn't ask for much besides for you to be happy and follow your dreams and be yourself. Because we're not ourselves sometimes, because we grew up watching TV, we learn stuff from our parents, we learn stuff from our teachers, we learn stuff from our, friends. So we're beginning to, we absorb something from this person, something from here, something from there, and that begins to shape us, right? But then we're absorbing so much that we get lost and we forget who we really are. So your parents, for example, me, you gotta be an engineer, you gotta be a doctor in order for you to make money and be successful. I was like, no, and I'm gonna be the one in this generation that's gonna change it, where I don't need to follow all these like rules and regulations that you guys followed. I'm gonna break that pattern and I'm gonna create what I want and I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna be me to my fullest potential. And that's like the best advice I can give you.
Was
because
that normal? Like
no.
Like, where did that?
No. That came from like meditation, from spiritualism. As far as meditating, positive affirmations shape your reality. So anything you put after I am shapes your reality. So I am beautiful. I am abundant. I am financially secure. I am the best business entrepreneur person there is, you know, and you begin to brainwash yourself with that. So you begin to shape your reality instead of, I'm feeling so bad today. This is not the job that I want to be in. You begin to shape yourself because you know what you want.
Because it's an entire lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a big.
But let's say somebody is like, you just touch a nerve with somebody, they just inspired. How? Step one, like what is something that they can start doing tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow morning they wake up. I know we talked about affirmations and meditating. You can do that. How they can get started?
Simply
what do they do?
Wake up and write 3 things down that you're grateful for. Today I'm grateful for the most beautiful day of life. Today I'm grateful for my parents, my family, and my health. Today I'm grateful for my knees that allow me to walk. Like, we don't think about those things, you know. I'm grateful for my nose. I'm grateful for my lungs that allow me to breathe. I'm grateful for my hands that allow me to feel. Like, you know, just the most simplest things. It's just like when, for example, I'm at a birthday party and a little girl comes by and I'm giving out cookies. But there's just one girl that's like, thank you so much for this cookie. You have no idea how you made me feel. I love this. Thank you. Wouldn't you normally, like, naturally, what? You love this cookie? I'm going to give you another one because I know that made you feel so good. So that's the way the universe works. The more grateful you are and the more like, I'm like in bliss and thank you and I'm happy and I'm grateful. There might be like so much shit going on around my life, but you know what? It doesn't matter because I have faith and I'm grateful and this is going to be the best day ever. So that's how you start changing your perspective because you create your perspective. We create our own reality, you know, through our beliefs, through our thoughts, and through our feelings.
And these are all things that people could find there at the Healing Factor, as far as like, let's say they just show up and they're like, I want to get started with
like I'm
all in. Like,
So I host the meditation class Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. I am gonna open more, but this is just to start off. And we talk about meditation, we talk about yoga, we talk about law of attraction, we talk about steps into manifestation, like, because like I said, God just wants you to be happy.
How important it is to get in that circle?
It's very important.
Like with people also thinking like that.
Very important. Yes. The people that surround you have to be the people you want to be like. If you're the smartest person in one room, you're in the wrong room because you always want to keep growing and you always want to keep evolving. You know, if the relationship you're in is holding you back, then you know, like, I feel stuck. The moment you feel stuck, the moment you need to change whatever it is you're going through and jumping into something new. Because we're not meant to be stuck. We're always meant to be growing and moving and,
If people they know what they want to do, and that's the thing. Like,
we get stuck. We get stuck in our patterns. Like, you could go work, you come home, and you're watching your series on Netflix all day long. And you've been doing that for like the past 3 months. So that's already like, let's say, for example, me, I go home at 2 p.m. That's already like, okay, 6 hours of work. And then what am I going to do from 2 to 8? Like, watch Netflix all day? That's already like
hours
and hours and hours. If you already run out of stuff to watch on Netflix, like, grab a book. You know? Like, feed your mind. Like, and documentaries are super important. Books are super important. Like, develop a healthy relationship with your mind and like with the universe because it's here to like help and support you, and that's all it asks for you. Be yourself and be happy. Whatever situation makes you happy, whether it's like, let's say I'm here in school and I'm so excited because I'm gonna go to the coffee shop and I'm gonna meet my friends. Go and do that because those little happy feelings are gonna take you to your biggest and most potential happiest feeling. You know what I mean? So let's say you go to the coffee shop and you're having drinks with your friends and you're having a really good time, and that's already making you feel good. All of a sudden I meet this teacher that invites me to this like seminar for free because I was into crystals and I've been wanting to do that, and boom, it's just a blessing in disguise, you know? So it doesn't matter what your highest excitement is, whether it's hanging out with your friends, going to the library for a book, traveling, opening up a business, whatever your highest excitement is at the moment, you got to start following that, because those are like signs and symbols of things that you need to. We're all here with the passion and purpose, so we got to figure out what your true passion is and what your purpose is, and it's not easy. Like I'm barely trying to figure out who I am and what I am and what it is that I want to do with all of this, you know, and you're gonna feel stuck so many times. Like most of the time, you're gonna feel stuck.
There's no moment like it's figured out. There's There's no end.
There is no right or wrong answer. You just gotta keep moving forward and figuring it out by yourself. Because what's good for you might not be good for me. You know what I mean? So every head is a different universe. That's how I see it, and everything is a point of view. Because what you see is, let's say, this is gray, and I see it as black, and why are we gonna fight over it? Why are we gonna argue? Why is this gonna be? That's your point of view, and that's my point of view. And once you start respecting that, you're happy, you're free,
for
you're at
anybody
peace.
in their early 20s or maybe early 30s, anybody that catches this episode, what would be the biggest number one thing that you would tell them if they're right now confused, they're majoring in medical because their dad's a doctor, mom's a doctor, aunt's a doctor, or they're going to law school because their dad's everybody, and they're just completely ready to give up on the entire thing of school and they're just completely 100% lost. What would you tell that person listening?
I would definitely say follow your highest excitement. If you're following like a medical career and that's not in you, and you did it because of your parents, or you did it because you had this belief system that told you that if I study, medicine, I'm going to be successful. But there's so many other ways that you could be successful. So the moment you let go, like, hey, this is not for me, and I'm being honest with myself, let go of it, because the opportunities will start coming in. And maybe they're not coming in right now because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So when stuff starts happening to you, it's usually because you're not in the right path. So when one door closes, be super happy because 10 more will open.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier, where it's like, and I think my mom told me this one day, where she said that I think I was super bummed out about something one time, and I think I might have even got like fired from like a job, and like I really liked the job, and I was just like, why, like what, And then like something super amazing happened like shortly after that, and my mom told me it was something that stuck with me forever. She said, blessings don't always come as blessings. Like they're not always gonna come how sometimes we pray for something or ask for something, and then it comes, but it doesn't come in the way that we think, and we're still there like, why? And it's there.
It's there.
It's there.
So that's how the universe works. You don't have to worry about the who, the what, the when, the who, like nothing. You just gotta know what you want. Universe, you already know what I want. Provide it for me. And you forget about it and you let go, and boom, it arrives. Because you're not saying, like, I want it to arrive November 3rd at 5 p.m. And let's say I'm looking for love, and my potential soulmate is going to have a green shirt. So you're already giving the universe, like, so many things that it's like, man, like, how am I going to make this happen? Like, it's just too much. Instead, like, I want to open a business. I want to focus on this. I want to grow as a women entrepreneur. I want to come out on TV. I want to come out, I was like, I want to come out in the Monitor. I had no idea how, and we won Best Juice Bar 2019. Monitor's Choice Award. Yeah, so I was like, you just ask for it. Like, literally, I write a list down of, like, whatever I want to accomplish, let's say, on 2020. And I already have it up there.
Okay.
And subconsciously, I'm passing by there every time, so I know it's there, and I know what I want, but I'm not worrying about it. And I'm not impatient, because the universe doesn't like impatient people. Like, you just have to be, because it's gonna happen when it's meant to happen,
or when you're ready.
and when you're ready to receive it. Yeah.
Sometimes we might not be ready. Like we're not.
And even though you think you might be in the wrong place, you're always exactly where you need to be. Always. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. Be grateful for it, learn from it, and move forward. Because once you get stuck and you become the victim, that's it.
It's so great. How did you deal, or did you have to deal with the entire, because social media is TV now. It's cable, it's TV, it's everything. So, and I feel like that is a huge weight on everybody's shoulders, because once you put yourself out there, you become vulnerable. You put yourself out there.
You have to follow.
Your stuff's on Instagram. Your stuff's out there to be critiqued and made fun of and made poked at. And how did you go through that fight? And what would you say to somebody that just?
I never post anything that has to do with my love or personal life. I never post anything that has to do with financial things, and I never post what my next goal or or whatever I'm working on is going to be.
Okay.
Like I don't post those things.
And
Like
what,
I try to
like,
keep as far as my private life as private as possible.
why would you say what's
I
behind?
just don't want so because I believe so much in the law of attraction.
Okay.
Like let's say I want something so bad, and there might be envious people around you or people that just don't get it, or people don't like to, if you're not happy, you don't like to see people being happy. Like it's just like when I was being like, I'm like, how can this person have have it all? I'm like, you have no idea. Now that I see it, I'm like, man, I feel bad saying that because now I realize, because I'm going through it too, you know, like it's not just rainbows and butterflies. And usually people post their most beautiful version of themselves and they could be like heartbroken and you're still gonna show up with a smile on social media, you know. So social media is BS. Yeah, it's you have to play with it now. Like to me, it's just like a game that you have to play with it. Yeah, and once you're in, you can't get out because people are expecting it from you. You know.
Really like that. Like, don't post.
But don't post your personal stuff
or
at
if
all.
you're sad, don't post
or,
your sad.
Or for example, I just broke up with my boyfriend and blah blah blah, and then a week later we see that you guys are back together in a relationship, and it's like, you're a joke, you know. Like to me, that's a joke. I'm not gonna take you serious. I'm not gonna take your relationship serious. I'm not gonna take him serious. You're putting yourself out there, like too out there, and people don't need to know any of that because that's where they take advantage of.
And that's where the energy comes
that's
from.
That's where the energy comes from.
We don't even know. It's our own post.
And all of a sudden you have all this planned out, but you told everybody about it, and boom, the day comes and nobody shows up.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah. So until you know that it's there and you've already signed the contracts and it's ready to go and it's like 100% yes, do not post about it. Like, don't post about it.
Nobody needs to know if you're happy
post
or
your
sad.
face, like, post positive things. Like, people need more positivity.
Such
like, hey, and be blunt. Like, be honest about it. Like, hey, you know what? Yesterday I was feeling like crap. Like, honestly, I was like depressed. And last week, like, all this stuff happened to me. Like, literally, a lot of things are going to happen to you. And it's your perception of it. And once you're like, man, like, just laugh, you know? Because to me, just like life right now is just like a game. Like, just laugh. Play with what you have, you know, enjoy, travel, do what you gotta do, but at the same time, be responsible, know what you want, be grounded, be financially secure, and there's nothing like having like a little bit of money saved in your bank account, knowing that you can fall back a month or two without like jobless or anything, but you're grounded because you know you have a little like backup. So it's very important to be always centered and balanced.
Before we go and before we start wrapping it up, I want to, because we start touching a little bit on it, about surrounding yourself with people and energy. How important it is for us to make sure what we're putting out into the universe, because like you said, law of attraction is gonna come right back.
Comes right back.
It's important to watch what we tweet,
watch
what
you
put
tweet,
on Instagram,
watch how you talk,
watch what you listen to, what you watch.
Yeah.
Like these are all our body's consuming this information, right?
Yeah, like, you're not aware of it, but your subconscious mind is so much more powerful than your actual, you know, conscious mind. So like I said, when you write down whatever you want to, you know, accomplish, just put it out there, because your subconscious and higher you is always aware, knows exactly where to take you, but you don't, you know. So surround yourself with people that love and support you. If there's something like a friend, it could be your frenemy, you know. I've had lots of frenemies that I had to drop, like lots and lots and lots. I probably don't have any friends now, and I can honestly like count them with like just one hand. Like my friends are my sisters, my siblings, like, and that's it, you know. And I know a lot of acquaintances, but the moment I feel like a little Debbie Downer negative vibe, like this is not a person that I want to surround myself with. Why? Because you're playing the victim part, and I'm already your friend, and I'm already telling you what works, and you know, if you don't want to listen to me, I don't want you around.
Yes, no, definitely. Man, this is awesome. It was so awesome to have you, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and share. We could have probably talked for like another 2 hours.
Yeah.
But before we let the people go here at UTRGV, is there anything you got for them? Anything you want? Maybe your location, where they could reach you at?
Yes, the Healing Factory is located north of 10th Street between Xenia and Duff. Courtyard Plaza, where Moonbeams, Shop 112, CC's Cupcakes, Sweet Temptation is at. And we are there from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Monday through Fridays. And Saturdays, we open 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Sometimes we close at 4 if we run out of produce, because everything is fresh at the Healing Factory. Yes.